Growing up, I was the youngest of four. While being the youngest can be good since you get away with everything, it also had its struggles. I had to live up to the expectations that my parents created for me as my siblings grew up. This wasn't too hard with AJ, as I would spend my car rides to kindergarten spitting out my multiplication tables that AJ didn't know in 6th grade. Caroline was the perfect child. I don't think she has ever gotten lower than an A in a class. Being the youngest of four, I was also subject to occasional acts of what you might call bullying from Anna. I promise it was just playful. For example, she liked to walk around yelling "Fatso mumbo jumbo" when she saw my tummy. I think this picture can justify those words, but to a 3-year-old, having my stomach turned into a bongo drum by my big sister was not always ideal. Anna was my best friend, though. On the weekends, we could be found in the playroom, surrounded by nothing but our American Girl dolls and our countless outfits for them. Being 4 years younger was tough at times, though. Anna and I went to the same middle school, so I became pretty used to being called Anna. Going to school with Anna had its perks, though. When I was in the 5th grade, Anna was in 8th. I was still in the lower school at Shore Country Day School, and Anna was in the upper school. I got to walk through the upper school for science class, gym class, and of course, my favorite class, lunch. While it was nice to see Anna rocking her orange polo with her turquoise Bermuda shorts, what was even better to 10-year-old Claire was the attention I got from the 8th grade boys. I knew I was the coolest 5th grader when I would hear, "Hey look, it's mini Trustey." It can be hard to grow up in the shadows of a sibling. After Shore, I wanted to create my own path, to go my own way, to be called Claire in high school instead of Anna's little sister. Had I come to Brooks as a freshman, I would have been in school with Anna during her senior year. Well, actually, I wouldn't have been. In 8th grade, I became the youngest of 3, and then 8.5 months later, the younger of 2. My family of 6 had become 5, and then 3 in less than a year. My world was shattered. As I sat in my bed on FaceTime on July 29th, 2015, the headlights of my mom's car stared into my window as she made the right-hand turn into my driveway. My FaceTime call continued another 15 minutes until I heard my mom's frantic footsteps approach my bedroom door. "Claire, can you come downstairs, please? I have to talk to you and Caroline." "Yeah, of course. Let me hang up. I'll be right down." My mom waited by the door, which was unusual. It was as if she knew that I would be unable to dive alone into the sea of relatives and close family friends that were suddenly flooding my house. "Mom, why are there so many people here?" I asked as she held my hand down the stairs. Slow steps, shaky legs. I could not tell if I was supporting her or if she was supporting me. They just want to come and see our family friend Lynn before she flies back to Virginia tomorrow." The hesitation in her voice was not reassuring. The quiver in her words was not reassuring. The way she grasped onto me was not reassuring. We made our way into the living room where we met Caroline. The home phone had rung a few times before my mom got home. Thank goodness I wasn't the one to pick it up. I still get anxious when I get phone calls from random numbers. Is someone hurt? Is someone sick? Is someone dead? Caroline was the one to pick up that phone call and deliver the news to my mom. I can picture the tears streaming down her face, her shallow breaths, her trembling body, but her attempt to be strong, to tell Mom it was going to be okay, to tell Mom that she would take care of me. I can envision her internal battle. Was she protecting me by not sharing the news with me until my mom got home, or was she hurting and needing the support of my mom? Caroline must have felt completely alone, scared. I was home, Lynn's kids were home, but Caroline was alone, sitting in her room with nothing but this pain, nothing but this grief, nothing but this heavy blanket weighing her down. "Claire," my mom began. Caroline reached for my hand. "There's been an accident tonight." "Is Grandpa okay?" I asked. All of the muscles in my shoulders contracted. "Grandpa is okay." Caroline clasped my hand a little tighter. My mom could barely mutter out the words. "Dad and Anna were in a plane crash tonight." "Mom," I began. I didn't want to finish the question. I didn't want to hear the answer. "Did they die?" "Well, there is one confirmed death. They aren't sure if both passengers died yet, though." Grasping onto hope for the first time in the past 15 minutes, a tiny bit of the pressure was released from my shoulders. Maybe Anna or my dad is okay, I thought. And then I was snapped back into reality. Or maybe they're both gone forever. How the heck am I supposed to live the rest of my life without half of my family? Was losing AJ 8.5 months ago just not enough? While these thoughts fumbled around in my head, I needed answers. I needed to know the truth. Sure enough, when I asked my mom a few minutes later if there were any more details, and she told me that they had both died, the weight was once again added to my back. "I'm so sorry, Claire," my mom began. "No, Mom, this can't be real," I added. The nausea in my stomach reminded me that this was real pain. I had lost half of my family in 8.5 months, gone forever. One of the hardest parts of that night for me was realizing just how much I was losing. When AJ died, Anna was one of my heroes. She prioritized my wants and my needs over her own. She was my hug, my shoulder to cry on, and now she was gone too. On the Sunday before the accident, Anna and I recorded the following video. The victim of our Snapchat was my ex-boyfriend. Honestly, I think our singing was more of a punishment than the lyrics we were belting out. Anna and I, along with 6 of our friends, saw Taylor Swift live in concert just 4 days before the accident. All night, we had enjoyed the company of our own friends, but when our favorite song came on, she moved next to me. A few summers before, Anna and I had been obsessed with that song. When I say obsessed, I mean obsessed. We had an alert set in my mom's car that would tell us what station the song played on every single time it played. While driving to New Hampshire one night, we got at least 15 notifications that the song was on, and naturally, we switched the channel every single time. My mom was a real trooper that night. It was late, we got McFlurries, and we got to sing and bond. Even as the 8 o'clock sunset transformed into the 10 o'clock pitch black sky, my mom was allowing, and even encouraging, this obnoxious bonding. At the concert, we capitalized on the fact that we knew all of the lyrics, and we thought the best way to showcase our talent was to sing scream into my phone. We put ourselves in Taylor Swift's shoes for those 3 minutes, and we honestly believed that our talent was comparable to that of our idol. However, the next morning, when we rewatched all of the videos from the night before, it was simply painful. Although my ears break a little bit every time I watch us screaming into the camera, it is videos like these that allow me to feel Anna's presence each and every day. In addition to rewatching that video from our Taylor Swift concert, I have found consolation in looking back through some old photos. While I wish I had the time to elaborate on the stories behind these photos, I thought I would give you all an insight into my relationship with Anna through these pictures. The one story I will tell, though, is the story of a snowy blizzard in January 2015. Snow is AJ's favorite, so we are all still convinced that he was somehow responsible for the blizzard. My dad decided that a business trip to sunny California was way more important than staying home and being snowed in with his wife and 2 youngest daughters. Anna and I dreaded shoveling and tried to avoid it all day. When we finally made our way outside, there were feet of snow. While this could have been an extremely miserable night in the snow, Anna decided to add some excitement to the process of shoveling. Let me show you what I mean. I think we can all agree that Anna had a way to lighten up situations. As I said earlier, I almost came to Brooks as a freshman. Had I made the choice in April 2015 to do so, I think I would have changed my plans for secondary school after that July night. The loss that once would have kept me away from Brooks is the pain that brought me here for my junior and senior years. At Pingree, I wanted to be anonymous. I didn't want to be that girl. But then I realized that being that girl doesn't have to be a bad thing. It's our differences that separate us, and it is how we learn to live with those differences that give us the ability to impact others' lives. Being at Brooks has been better than any therapy appointments and anti-anxiety medications for me. When girls JV lacrosse has the privilege of playing on the Anna K. Trustey Memorial Field, I am playing those games with my angel right there on my shoulder. When I'm in need of a quiet place on campus, I can find myself in the Memorial Garden located right outside of the Science Forum. While some of you might think that these constant reminders can be upsetting to me, the truth is they are the most comforting reminders for me. I think about my losses every single day, so seeing a picture of Anna or a sign that says her name does not trigger my thoughts on this subject. Sometimes I think so hard about it, about the what ifs, that I can't sleep at night. It is always on my mind. That being said, I love to talk about my sister. If I'm going to think about my 3 angels anyway, then I might as well think about the happiest moments and the funniest stories about my family. I think people can be scared to overstep the line and ask about Anna or about my experiences, but I believe that I was given those experiences to help others, so please, never be afraid to approach me. And now, some lessons I've learned. Number 1, say I love you. You cannot say that 8-letter phrase too often. One day you'll say it for the last time and wish you had another chance, so say it. Number 2, hug your loved ones. My very last memory with Anna and my dad is the hugs I got from them on July 29th, 2015. That hug was the closest thing to closure I will ever have with this situation. And number 3, finally the most important one, take time to listen to others. You never know somebody's whole story until you take the time to listen to them. So before you judge someone for wearing the same pants twice or for getting upset during a class discussion, take the time to understand their whole story. This July will mark 4 years without Anna and my dad. I promise things really do get better and that time heals pain. Obviously, my pain is not and will not ever be completely gone, but I can promise that I am healing, and I owe much of that to Brooks. And finally, a note to Anna. Anna, happy birthday, my sweet angel. Today would be your 22nd, and I'm sure you'd be having all kinds of fun with your friends. I wonder where you'd be in college right now, what you would be planning to do a year from now after your college graduation. If you'd still be obsessed with the Kardashians. I can assure you that I live every day for you, AJ, and Dad. While I wish more than anything that you were physically with me, I know you're always with me in some way. And don't worry, I'm taking great care of Mom and Caroline. I love you, Anna.